Acts chapter 2. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven, as of a rushing mighty wind, and filled all the house where they were sitting. This is a sign for Israel. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues, like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost, and began to speak with other tongues, as the Spirit gave them utterance. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. Now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together, and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in their own language. And they were all amazed, and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born? Parathons, Medes, Elamites, and the dwellers in Mesopotamia, in Judea and Cappadocia, in Pontus and Asia, in Perga and Philippia, in Egypt, and in the parts of Libya and Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews, proselytes, Crete and Arabians. We do hear them speak in our tongues the wonderful works of God. And they were all amazed, and were in doubt, saying one to another, What meaneth this? Others mocking said, These men are full of new wine. Now, Peter, who is the main one in the beginning of the book of Acts, Peter gets up to explain what is happening. Peter is explaining Pentecost. They said, oh, they're drunk. But Peter said, okay, here's what it is. But Peter, standing up with the 11, lifted up his voice and said unto them, Ye men of Judea, and all ye that dwell in Jerusalem, be this known unto you, that hearken to my words. And hearken to my words, he says, for these are not drunk as ye suppose, seeing it is about the 3rd hour of the day, but this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel. And it shall come to pass, this is what is happening, in the last days, saith God, I will pour out of my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and daughters, and your shall prophesy, and your men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I will show wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire, vapor of smoke. This is Israel's hope, the kingdom. This is Israel's hope. It's their last hope for the kingdom. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and noble day of the Lord come. And it shall come to pass, that whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Ye men of Israel, Peter is speaking to Israel, hear these words, Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you. And ye yourselves also know. Who? Israel. Israel knows. The men of Israel, they know. Him being delivered by the determinate counsel and foreknowledge of God. Ye, who? Israel. Ye have taken, and by wicked hands have crucified and slain, whom God has raised up, having loosed the pains of death, because it was not possible that he should be holden of it. For David speaketh concerning him, foresaw the Lord always before my face, for he is on my right hand, that I should not be moved. Therefore did my heart rejoice, and my tongue was glad. Moreover also my flesh shall rest in hope, because thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. Thou hast made known to me the ways of life. Thou shalt make me full of joy with thy countenance. Men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried, and his scepter is with us unto this day. Therefore, being a prophet, and knowing that God had sworn with an oath to him, that of the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, he would raise up Christ to sit on his throne. And he will do that. God will raise up Christ to sit on his throne. But the times and seasons are in the Father's power. That's recorded in Acts 1, verses 6 to 7. He, seeing this before, spake of the resurrection of Christ, that his soul was not left in hell, neither his flesh did see corruption. This Jesus hath God raised up, whereof we are witnesses. Therefore, being by the right hand of God exalted, and having received of the Father the promise of the Holy Ghost, he hath shed forth this which ye now see and hear. He's telling them what they're now seeing and hearing was prophesied. And now we'll stop there, and we'll continue on our next lesson. Thank you for listening.